Good evening, everybody. Sammy Thunder here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome. Let's talk about rarity, the rarity scale, the rarity score. This is a response to Rick, the Flipper Vintage Oddball Cards, the VP that we need in the hobby. So, I just wanted to bounce off a response on what Rick said. I think there's a lot of truth in what he said. I think that the term rare, the rarity, is used rather loosely. Now, let me give you an example. And I think this is speaking onto Rick's point. Hopefully. Rick, you can correct me if I'm not on point here or I misunderstood something. Let's talk about Rusty Cunts. Let's talk about Rusty Cunts. Has a good ring to it. 1982 tops, Rusty Cunts. Now, if we look at the pop report, it's somewhere in the 50s or the 60s. This card has been graded that many times. Can you call that rare? I don't think so. And I think Rick mentioned this. Again, Rick, correct me. While the pop report is probably low for this card, it's because no one's really grading it. It's not deemed a card that people want to grade. So can we call it rare? No, because I can go out to a card show, I can go on eBay, I can go on Facebook, I can find this card anywhere I really need to and get it really quickly. Two ways to look at this. Is it tough to find already graded? Probably, because you have to go out and see if it's available. But you could also buy the card raw and grade it yourself and save yourself the trouble. So I agree, if this is Rick's point, that this is not a rare card. Even though it has a lower pop report, it's not considered a rare card. I pulled out some cards that I thought are considered rare. I've shown these on my videos countless times, and I'll show them again, because I always love showing them. Here's a Stahlmeyer Willie Mays 54. It's a great looking card. These don't come up too often. Pop reports, they're good measures of rarity, in my opinion. I think they're good measures of it. Rick wants you to do research on it. I agree. Do research. It's difficult to know how many people have this raw. However, you could go around these message boards, Net54, and do searches and find existing raw ones. But again, that's a lot of time. And you would have to put an inquiry out there, like a poll, and find out who has them. So the best measure we have, where you can get the information rather quickly to understand, just from the graded market, how many of these exist. This is a good measurement for what we have. If you want to go and find out how many raw ones exist, you'll have to take some extra time and patience and go on Net54 and all these other platforms and put out polls and inquiries, do your surveys, and you'll get some information that way. My other rare card is the 1952 Coca-Cola test tips of Willie Mays. Now, I think from my understanding, there's only 14 of these have been graded. I don't know if there are some raw ones that are out there. I'm sure there are. So again, this all goes back to doing your extra research, your polls and surveys, and seeing if a raw one out there exists. But until then, best measurement, PSA pop report, SGC pop report, give you a good measure. And from what I can tell, this is rare. So there you have it. I think there is a fine line to what we can call rare and what we can't. And I understand Rick's point that there are just some cards out there that have low pop reports, but that's not the entire picture. I think what you define as rare is interpreted differently. That's something Rick mentioned in his video, that everybody determines what's rare a little differently, and that's okay. But I have no problem mentioning something that I think is rare in my videos, and I'll continue to do so. But I think Rick also has a point that there is a fine line, what we can call rare and what we can't. And that's the whole purpose of the video. So thank you, Rick, for making your video. I think it was really informative. I think it definitely brings out a lot of curiosity. And I look forward to sharing more rare cards with you guys, hopefully soon. So everybody have a great rest of your week. See you at Cardboard and Cold Ones on Thursday. Take Take care.